Eep.
All right, there seems to be a problem with the microphone for some reason. I had this problem earlier, so I don't know why it's doing that, which is dumb. Sorry. But hopefully you could hear me now. I'm not using the proper microphone, but let's restart. Hi, I'm Steve from Mac84. It's 2026. This is the first stream of the new year, and I didn't do anything correctly. Cue to turn on the lights. And now you're caught up. I don't know why this microphone's not working. I'm going to unplug it real quick and plug it back in. It shows up in my system. It shows up as a device. I don't know if it is sad or something like that. Yeah, sorry about that. Let me try changing the microphone again. One moment, please. Anything now? Testing 1, 2, 3. It works. Maybe? Question mark? Okay, all right. I had to unplug the microphone and plug it back in. Yes, as Jeff said, I had to get all the cursing out of the way at the start, so I had to mute myself so YouTube wouldn't demonetize me. My goodness. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta unplug things and plug them back in again. We'll be doing a lot of breaking things today. Anyway, let me say hello to everybody in the chat. We have Jeff Gearling, who was first. We have Dave of Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. We have Francois. We have I-8386SX. We also have Gutbomb. And Anna Johnson is here. Hello, hello. Jack68K is here. CSU SU Industries. Yeah, YouTube's new naming thing stinks, and I forgot people and it's throwing me off. Oh boy. Jordan Gappler is here. Garth Beagle, of course, is here. Jack68K is here. S. Certain is here. And we have Nathan. And who else do I miss? SadMac356. One Bit Fever Dreams. A lot of people here today. My goodness, Sideburn is here. And I think that's SJ Bryan. Who else? Dana. Dana does stuff. Where's Bruce? He got to show up. CLA 3D is here. And I think I almost got everybody. If I missed any of you, hi. Oh, Joe. Hi, Joe. It's Joe's Computer Museum. Joe. How could I miss Joe? I owe Joe money. So that's everyone doing today. I'm doing okay. Trying to actually get content out or stream has been challenging, which is why we're at February 15th, and this is the first stream of the year. But we're here. We're gonna try something. So what the heck is this all about? Well, my good friend Colin of This Does Not Compute, who does a fun podcast with me. If you're a supporter of myself on Patreon or YouTube membership, or of him on Patreon, for as little as $1 a month, you're subscribed to one of us in one of those cool ways. Thank you. You're awesome. You support us. You get access to exclusive podcast called Unimplemented Trap. So go check that out. But Colin did a video that released this Friday of this little Maclock, and this has been floating around. People have been playing around with these for, I did say they got popular around December or so for the holiday season. But it's basically a little Mac that is very nicely sculpted, like not 3D printed. This is like a real like plasticky thingamajig with a good mold and everything like that. And as you can see, it sort of displays as a clock. And that's all it does. Now, it's very adorable, and it's very, like, accurate and everything like that. But this little thing is neat, but it's just a clock. That's all it does. So a few people in the community have done similar things where they get the very little small LCD screen and Raspberry Pi, and they'll 3D print a little case for a Mac, and they'll put the screen in and everything, and it'll be like, hey, it's a little mini Macintosh. Which is cool and all, but, you know, 3D printed stuff usually has that 3D printed look to it, unless you have a really good printer, or unless you sand it, do all this other stuff to it. And so what Colin did, and a few other folks have done too, I've seen some posts online, but Colin is the one that made the video about it, did all the steps. Everything is linked in the video description, so please check out his original video. He also has a GitHub where he posted all the instructions. I deviated from that a little bit, and I'll be explaining that in a bit. But essentially, he put a little color screen in his, with the Raspberry Pi 2.0 or 0.2, whatever it is, and he has that up and running. So I'm going to be borrowing some stuff from him today, and I have a box of parts that we're going to be assembling, because mine works disassembled, but we're going to put it all back together, and this is going to force me to do that, because I've been putting this off. And you're going to join me on however this turns out. I don't know. Go along with it as we go. But I love the box here because it has like little fragile stuff that the original Macintosh box had. So it's very, very cool. So we're going to put that to the side. I have two cameras here. I don't know if the other one's going to work. Where's the other one? Here. It's usually my above camera, but that whole thing fell down. So yeah, now we have picture-in-picture Steve, which I might use if you needed a close-up of a thingamajig I'm doing, but we'll get to that. First off, let's look at some of the parts here. So let's try and make sure the camera doesn't wander. Excellent. Hopefully that's all right. And so we have the brains of the operation. This is a Raspberry Pi. What is it? Is it a 2.0 or just a 0.2? A 0.2W. I don't think they make a non-Wi-Fi version, but yeah, so that's this, which is really cool. Oh, speaking of screens, I left this CRT on. I should turn that off. We were tinkering around on Dave's stream. Dave's Vintage Apple Tech does a stream every Sunday, and I was tinkering around and I left that CRT on. So go check out Dave's Vintage Apple Tech if you have not done so already, and please subscribe. Well, we are working on this little Maclock, and links are in the video description to the video that Colin did, and he has a GitHub and everything, but I'm introducing the parts, and mine's going to be a little bit different from his. I'm not following exactly, because I want to do some things that, let's say, will work or they won't. So, we have a little Raspberry Pi 0.2W here, a little 32 gig SD card, and we have the pin header, which I soldered on. You could get them pre-soldered on, but, you know, that's no fun if you have to just rely on that. I like doing it myself. We have a Bluetooth speaker, which I've already ripped the button off of, and we'll explain that in a little bit. We have an LCD screen in a great little 3D print that Colin created. I still have the plastic on the little screen, and this screen plugs directly into the Pi. That's why you need the little headers there. And so this is a 2.8-inch color screen. And then we have the Maclock. This is the front of it. Oh, look at that. I'm pressing and the things were sort of appearing. And let me just put this up in a second. So this is what the Maclock looks like. I'm not going to put it all together because then the plastics are going to get together and it's annoying to come out of it. But it's a very well modeled little device. Look at that. It is very cool. Greetings from Norway. Well, greetings from New Jersey. It is very well done. The stickers you put on yourself, so I probably didn't put them on correctly. Yes, the ports here are not printed correctly. You don't have 3 of those style of ports, but it's a little cute little 3D model. It is adorable. You have a working floppy disk drive here that acted as the on-off switch on the original model. And of course that has stickers on it too. How adorable. And these are on Amazon and stuff. They used to be about 50 bucks. I think you get them about $30 today, which is, I wouldn't pay more than $20 or $30 for this. It's cool, but it's like as a clock, like it doesn't do that much. And of course, all these little extras and stuff, you're going to spend about $100 getting all the bits and pieces if you want to do something else to it. So let me just say that opening this up is not easy. Colin's video has some great tips. I used some of these spudgers. Where's my spudger? Yeah, here it is. I used a spudger to get in the bottom first. I actually used 2 on the side to sort of pry up the side and then go along this way. And there's some scuffs, but it doesn't really show. And so that has been there. That's sort of what I did there. And if you take it apart, you see there's plenty of room inside. Now, there used to be a battery in here, and this battery sat like this. And that was a pain in the butt to get out. I used a hair dryer. There's glue on the back of it. I want to show you this, so if anyone else is doing this in the future, you know what to expect. I don't know why the white balance is so crazy. I apologize. But there's glue on this side of the battery, which is at the bottom of the Mac. There's glue on the back, which is the back case. And there's glue on this little pad. So the battery sort of sat in like this. And I actually cracked the plastic of the back of this, wiggling it back and forth and applying heat and all this stuff. And so that was a sort of a pain in the butt. And then lastly, there are boards that were originally inside. This is a USB-C connector for the power board. This is the brains of the Maclock. This was everything that came inside. And it would fit in the back of this and all that stuff. And we'll show you that in a second. But just getting the parts out of the way here to show you how it's built. And this button up here, I never used it because I had the clock assembled for all of like 20 minutes before I ripped it open. This I think is like you tap it and the screen illuminates for like a minute or so or something like that. Did you tune into the Computer Clan live last night? No, I did see him posted, but it was Valentine's Day, so I spent that with my significant other. We went out and ate food and it was fun. You can probably even make some sort of SD card slot and caddy with the floppy drive. Yeah, so the thing is, the way this is situated, the SD card slot is there, and it's built into the Pi. And the way this is it has a little micro switch here. So when you're putting that floppy disk in, it would turn on the clock originally. While it would be fun to wire that up, it's the type of switch that's not an on-off switch. It's like a momentary switch or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure someone could figure out a fun way to do something like that, but I'm probably going to use a different switch, and I'll show you what I'm going to use in a bit. So this is the original screen of the Maclock. It's a little black and white screen. I think it works like some of those old handheld games where there's only a few digits on the screen and so on. Yeah, I did see. So I will try and catch up on the replay. I did see you both streaming. So hello, by the way. I don't think I said hey to you, but hello to you and to Ken by proxy. But you guys haven't streamed in a while, so that was fun catching up with you guys. At least seeing the stream, and I will catch up when I can. Oopsie doodle. I'm gonna be dropping things on the floor. So I'm gonna put this screen to the side because otherwise I'm gonna lose it. And yeah, so the other part of the Mac screen is this little plastic that makes it look like a CRT, which I think is really cool. So we're going to sort of assemble this the best I can. What I'm going to do now is just sort of loosely assemble it to give you an idea of how it's going to look. And then I'm going to explain some of the things that we're going to do to make it a bit better. Okay. The other thing I did is I got a Raspberry Pi power supply, so I don't have to worry about the power being fed into this thing. Again, the white balance on this camera is atrocious today, but we will try and fix that, or just like we'll live with it. It's probably what we'll do. All right, so what we have to do first is just I'm going to loosely assemble this. I'm not going to clean the screen or anything like that. We're just going to get this loosely assembled. I'm going to take off the little brightness knob that was used on the original one. Going to put this in this little holder here. It does nothing, but it makes it look nice. I also misplaced the screws. They're upstairs somewhere. I have to find them. But what I do want to do is the bottom of the Maclock, the little chin here, has 2 buttons. And I want to see if I can wire those up to something. And this board has 2 buttons. Now, I don't know. Maybe tell me in the chat if I should do it or not. I would love to just slice here and slice here. So I just have this bottom board with all these nice firm buttons right there. I can access and everything. Rather than trying to reverse engineer or do something. Because honestly, I'm not going to use this board again. And yeah, it's kind of a waste. But I don't know. I'm also weird about breaking things. Or cutting into perfectly normal things. I also have to put a little heatsink on here. Which I will do sort of soon. Catch fire. It better not catch fire. It's meant to entertain as a desk accessory. I don't want it to catch fire. It is too adorable to catch fire. And you'll see how adorable it is in a second. Let me just rock the Raspberry Pi gently into the LCD screen thingamajig here, which you sort of got to do in a sort of careful way because you don't want to damage it. And this, it's a tiny screen. It's not exactly, meant for a lot of abuse or modification or whatever. All right, so we're just going to put that loosely like that. And we are going to get our power supply cable, which is, hell if I know. There it is. Fire is entertaining. Yeah, I honestly, I had a lot of the cheapo Raspberry Pi bricks from my original Pi Zeros, like the non-wireless versions. That tells you how long I've had them. But this was in the store. It was, what was it? It was $7.99, and I had a coupon for like 5% off my order or whatever. So it's like, you know what? Let me just get one. I know it's going to work. And I'm going to power more than just the Pi from this, which you'll see in a bit. So let me plug this into a power strip. Boy. A desk accessory where we could run macOS System 6 desk accessories. And we're going to plug in our power here. Let's figure out the way the little micro cable goes. And obviously with this wire, it's not going to stay correctly or whatever, but we're just propping it up. Oopsies. He says as he breaks it. I was just going to prop it up temporarily just to show you sort of how this is. And I don't know where those screws went. That's going to be a pain in the butt. But let me just hold it here. And we're going to turn this on. And give it a second. Shouldn't be taking that long. Oh, there it goes. I see a little light. It's thinking about it. The screen is coming on. I see a little cursor. Okay, so booted into the little Raspbian operating system or whatever they call the Pi OS these days. Yeah, the glare is not going to help with this camera. I do apologize, but we do have the little Happy Mac in the middle. It's starting up. There we go. Look at that. And of course, I have to full screen it and all this stuff. But isn't that adorable? It's perfectly perfect for like a little after dark screensaver or a little clock. And it's a full-fledged Mac. I think the emulator has it emulating a Macintosh 2, which is really cool. Yeah, so we're going to make this look a lot nicer. I'm going to put it face down just for a second because what I need to do is I need to access this over Wi-Fi. And to do that, you could do that with VNC, which I already have set up on here, running a VNC client. I don't know if I have the app on my Mac, so let me just download it because apparently as Colin figured out in his video, the built-in macOS screen sharing app doesn't exactly work with it, so you just need a standard VNC app, which is fine. So we're just going to grab that, and I'm going to try and remember what what IP address this is. Hold please, let me find that out. Wrong link. There we go. Oops, I cannot type today, can I? Okay, we're gonna sign into my router Madoodle here and go to devices and this should be, of course, I hate this freaking Verizon router. Because the IP address is not displayed by default on your list of devices. Like, how stupid is that? Sorry, that makes no sense to me. If I go into here, I'm looking for the IP address. All right, 229. All right, so let's add that. 1 second, please. No, I'm not signing in to get started. You go away. We are just logging in correctly here. So let's go to new connection, 192.168.1.229. I will just set this up here and then I could share my screen. 1 second. Continue. Okay, so let me do this. Sorry, it's like asking me all these system settings. It's like the first time I've done it. Like, oh my gosh. Sorry, folks. Give me 1 second. Okay, so now let's click over here And I'm going to share my screen if it will let me. Window capture. We're doing this live, folks. All right. And there we go. Okay, cool. So, as you can see, this is what we have running on that little Mac, which is neat. Oh, that sounds fun, Jeff. Yeah, so we have this, and of course this is set up just as a little Raspberry Pi. This is running an older version of the operating system because I was following Colin's original instructions, but it was not something that was happy with some of the precompiled things, and then some things like sound weren't working, which yes, we have sound working, which I'll show you in a second. But hey, Bruce, how's it going? Yeah, it would be cool if they had like a CAD version of this. Now, if you do a Control F, this goes full screen. And so if I would lift this up again, you can see that the system is full screen here. And it's very, very handsome looking. It would look better once it's actually flush mounted in the case, which is what we'll be doing today. But as you can see, I have After Dark on here. The cursor is a little bit laggy. That's okay. I don't know why it's this laggy, but it's like oversensitive or whatever. I will try a Bluetooth mouse, but I am running the original one. I'm not running Eric's fork of it just because it was already compiled in one of the apps that was on the GitHub, so it was easy for me to grab it. And I actually did search for Eric's, but I don't think I went through the whole process of that because this is running a legacy version of the 32-bit Raspberry Pi version of the operating system. Bruce says, it is my intention to create an accurate 3D model of either a Plus or an SE. The models that are out there aren't too good. Yes, I would love that, Bruce, but I would also love an image writer and a Macintosh 2 and a 13-inch RGB monitor and all those crazy things, because that's what I would want to build, is like a little Global Talk army that I could bring to VCF in like a handbag. Oh, look at that. That's weird. The yellow on my screen sharing is like chroma keyed out, so the kid picks yellow is not showing. That's odd, but I'm super interested in any models that you would create. I have an image writer too for you. Oh boy. Gutbomb did 3D print an image writer too for me, which was fun. But anyway, let's get some sound here. I want to show you some of my plans for this before we try and pull it all together. Where's that little thing I had? Where did it go? Did I lose it already? No, impossible. There it is. So I bought the crummiest Bluetooth speaker you could buy on Amazon. It's also the smallest for about $7.99 or something like that. And I ripped the bottom open, which I'll explain why in a bit, because we're going to wire some stuff up to it. But if you hold it down, it does go boop, 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 boop. So it does make some noise there. And I believe, yeah, I don't know if it's connected or not. Let's see. So if I go here, I go to volume, does it see? No, it's not connected. Connect. Use the audio menu to connect this device. Hold on, let's close. Yeah. Hold, please. Oh, come on. Leave me alone. I just want to use the computer. All right, let's shut this down. Just 1 second here. Connect. Connection failed. Okay, great. Let's just turn Bluetooth off and then turn it back on. Oh boy. This was working upstairs. Yep. Maybe it's actually just like not connected anymore. So let me hold down the button and hold it down again. Add device. Maybe it has to search for it. Oh, you know what? I think my computer upstairs was connected to it. Let's remote into my system upstairs. Make sure it's still not connected, because I think that would cause some problems. Let's just go to that system here. And you know what? Let's just turn Bluetooth off. Yeah, it is connected to it. That's exactly why that was not happy. Yep, yeah, there we go. It disconnected. And if we go here and go to connect, and it's still doing that. Well, let's just go the old way here. Pair it, I guess, as a new thing. Oh, there, that's a great error. Guys, their error could have failed. Page timeout. Yes, that's great. Well, you know what? Let's how about we restart? Let's just reboot, shall we? Oh boy. I mean, it should just remember it, but all right. So that's gonna reboot. But this speaker is actually surprisingly loud. And what I would like to do is wire up the button here to use one of the buttons on the chin, and then wire up the charge so I could get 5 volts from the Pico. So I only have one cable coming out of this thing. So that would be the ideal situation here. So let me put this little speaker off to the side. Let's finish our little demonstration, and then we'll get to work. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right. Oh, look at that. Is it reconnected? That's so nice. It just did that for me. Oh, my OBS is like not centered here. Hold please. Why are you not letting me do this? There we go. Okay. Oh, just here. Look at me for a bit. I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm afraid I can't do that. All right. So let's see if this actually wants to connect now. No, of course not. So let's forget it. Let's go here, remove device, sure. And let's see, this thing might have turned itself off. All right, so now it's off. Let's turn it on. Let's hold down the darn button here and see if it'll pop up here, which it should, because this has worked before. I haven't done any software updates or any silly stuff like that. Because if it's working, I'm not gonna fuss with it. But of course, on camera, you know, things don't want to work. That's fine. We expect that. So let me hold down the button as I'm turning it on. I think that puts it into the discoverable mode. Maybe. You know. Let's see. Is it like anything else connecting to this automatically? No, it's showing up in my other system, which is fine. Add device, please. Searching. Let's just let it search for a little bit and see if it comes up. Hey, it's everyone. Yes, surprise stream. I just been lazy and I haven't done anything in a while. There it is. Let's click on it, see if it wants to work. Pair. Requesting. Pairing successful. Thank goodness. All right. So we're going to select this. All right. And we're going to have to lower this because this speaker is actually pretty good. And we're going to launch SimCity because that has some sound in it. There we go. Hopefully you could hear that. Not going to win any audiophile contests, but it will certainly work for beeps and after dark noises and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty darn cool. Yeah, let's make that full screen here. There we go. Why is it making me scroll? I cannot. Oh, the mouse is like, you know that thing in VNC where the mouse is like trailing behind you, so you can't actually like click anything? Yay! Surprise, folks, we're just going to play SimCity for the next 3 hours. We'll just build a road here, going to nowhere. Little VNC lag is not the greatest here. But what I do need to do is build a power plant, which I forget how to do. It's been a while. Go. I'll just put it somewhere. And I need to hear the zap noises. There it is. That's what you need the sound for, folks. For nothing else. Just the little interface noises. There we go. My life is complete. All right, so let's quit this here. Alrighty, so we have that working, which is great, and we have After Dark and all that fun stuff. So now let's actually set up the darn thing to do something. So I'm going to shut this down, and we're going to get to the hardware side of things. Shut you down. The Bluetooth is disconnecting. We'll wait for that to shut down gracefully. Surprise LGR stream. I am not that good at these SimCity games. I want to be, but it's just one of those things where I played it as a kid and I didn't know what I was doing. The best part was building the city or loading the city and just having the monsters destroy it. That's what I did most of the time. But we're going to try and build something here. So, all right. So let's turn that off so we don't have any power here. And we have to modify a few things. First off, this little USB-C connector in this board is great and all because it will fit perfectly to the back here and will allow me to do USB-C for power, which is fine. However, this is designed to charge a battery. And so Colin discovered that this little chip and this little resistor denotes what you have to do with that stuff. And so we have to get rid of that if we're going to actually use USB-C on the back of this to power it. So let me plug in my microscope here because we're going to desolder that. And I left my soldering iron on from before, so I'm glad we're here so I will not burn the house down overnight. We could destroy the most value in that time. That's great. Oh boy. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. All right, so let's move this battery over here so there's no risk of me poking it with a hot soldering iron. Nobody wants to see that. Well, some of you might, but I don't. I don't want to explode anything today, at least not on purpose. Oh yeah, I had to unplug the microscope because the wire was in the way. There we go. Hey, Kate. Matlock. All right, so we're gonna go to our microscope here. Yeah, sure. Why is this weird? That's weird. What the hell? That's not supposed to be like that. Hold please. Oh my gosh. That's weird. OBS is showing one thing in the preview. And what sweet hell is going on? There, nope, maybe closer. We're getting closer, folks. Hold please. What the heck? This is odd. There we go. My goodness. My goodness. Cut the red wire. Why not put 18650 in there and let the charger charge it, and then you can power it from the USB or battery? Because I don't have one of those things, and I'm not smart about that sort of stuff, and I just want to... It's always going to be on a desk. I could always modify this in the future. I'm leaving it open to... I'm not throwing out any parts or anything like that. But this is a little board here, and I believe what Colin's mod instructed me to do is remove this chip and remove this resistor, and just... there's like one bodge wire you have to make, and then this will just supply 5 volts to the thing. So yeah, that is totally a cool thing that I would love to do, is have this battery powered, leave that battery in there. But I don't think actually with all the stuff that I'm fitting in here I think the battery might fit, but I'm not sure. That's not part of my initial plan right now. But I am also going to adjust the clips on this thing. Where's wrong second camera here, folks. So I can open this up easily and modify it again if I want to. So. They're all red wires. No. All right, so first off, I do need to remove this little resistor guy here, and we're gonna try to do that carefully. We'll see if that actually happens carefully, because it's me. You know, I haven't really streamed or done any of this stuff in like a few months. Why did I just hear something fall outside? That is suspect. Let's check the security cameras. What the heck is going on outside my house today? First remove the fuse. Yeah, I mean, the little battery that's built in there now is just designed to run that little clock. It better not fall down. And so I don't think it's like really super. Oh, wants me to log in. All right, we're not gonna do that. I don't think it's really going to be a super powerful battery, but who knows? It might be useful for something. Probably just an animal. Hopefully. Sorry, just checking because I'm paranoid about things. Oh, the camera's not connecting. That's a good sign. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, if I was gonna be worried about that, I guess whatever. But anyway, let's get this going. So I have to remove this little bit. I'm gonna bring up Colin's GitHub in a second. Again, his video and the GitHub I'm referring to are linked in the video description. And it's gonna be sort of fiddly to hold. I guess we just do it like this. And ideally I would use hot air or something like that, but this should be enough. Should be tiny enough for me to just nudge this little guy. The nudging continues. All right, now that we nudged it out of the way a little bit, let's get some more solder wick. We're having some little winter weather here. I don't think it's anything major, but I think we're gonna see like maybe an inch of snow, if that. We still already have like 6 inches on the ground from last time, so it's not like we want any more snow. I would really prefer if I didn't see snow for the rest of the year, because I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of not being able to like go to my darn shed because all the snow is blocking the door from opening. Oh goodness. Oh, this is one of those really cheap thin boards. Oh yeah. There we go. And there we go. All right. So we have our little R5000 resistor guy. I'm going to put that over to the side. Well, I would have if I didn't already drop it. All right, there we go. Where'd it go? It's on my fingernail. That's a tiny component. Put you back there. There we go. All right, and I believe I have to remove this chip, which handles the charging circuitry. So for that, I guess I shall use some hot air, because that would probably be the smartest thing to do at this point. Yes, the mountainous piles from Snowplus. It actually melted there. It's been below freezing here for like 4 weeks. It's terrible. Ugh. All right, so let's wait for that. And this is going to be fun, because this is going to be so overkill for this. In fact, I should have put some flux on here. Let's just do that here. See if we can hold this with the tweezers. This part is tiny. I'm used to doing this on larger things. Oh, that needs to be hotter. Sorry, I know you folks can't see. All right. Little component has come off. too bad. Sorry, let me catch up with the chat. You saw a rat in an igloo. You were in New York and you didn't come and dig me out of my shed? No worries, Jeff. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. 40 degrees. My goodness. It was supposed to be 50 here this week, and then the weather decided to change. Use your teeth like a cold scraper. Oh my gosh, got bombed. No. So that little chip, from what I understand, it does a lot of the charging circuitry stuff for the battery. So we don't need that. So we basically are bypassing that. So Colin, I believe on GitHub, had a little thingamajig. Let me bring that up. It's in the video description of my video. Let me go ahead and find it. No, that's not what I wanted. Hold, please. Yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna have to open up this image, and I guess I'll open it with preview. Whoopsies. Sorry, folks. I'm a little bit I'm not used to streaming. Let's just say that. It's been a while, folks. I'm sorry. All right, let's just jump back to the main camera where I have my screen capture deal, and we're just going to screen capture what I want to show you real quick. And there we go. So this is a little diagram. Now, why, I don't know why it's doing that with the, you can see me behind it. That's weird. But this is what Colin shared. Now, his is a little bit of a different pinout. His is slightly different. I guess there are different revisions of these little boards. And so what he did is he just went from one spot to the other to sort of bodge what we need to do here. And I'm going to be following that, but my board's a little bit different, as you can see. So mine is sort of laid out in a different way. I don't have that resistor at the bottom of the board. I have it at the top of the board. So I'm just cycling them through quickly so you could sort of see the difference there. So yeah, that's what we're going to be dealing with, but that's okay. It's close enough, and we could figure that out. McClunky. Hey Dan, how's it going, man? Oh gosh. Sorry, just following up on the chat here. There's a lot of chat today. How many people we have here? I don't even freaking YouTube doesn't tell me anything anymore. This analytics don't go to things. Words, brain. I don't know what I'm doing. Boop doop boop boop. I'm live, but it doesn't show the panel because thank you, YouTube. That's not the way it works anymore. 64 people, my goodness. Hello, everybody. Thank you for spending time with me while I lose my mind. I'm in your circuit boards doing all the stuff. All right, cool. So that's cooled down a little bit. So I need to run a wire from here, and I think let's look at Colin's diagram here to see where R5 runs to. So on his, that goes to one of these pins. That's interesting because his, unless his USB-C connector, no, his is installed the same. Oh, actually, no. Is his? I guess you wouldn't know if it was installed in a different way because, yeah, but hold on. In his video, there was another diagram he showed. So let me just go to that really quick. Boop, 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 boop. And here's Colin's video. It's in the video description. Gonna put it here in the chat just so it is. Yes, I do have it running system 7.1, I believe. I'm just gonna skip ahead in his video to where he shows the little solder job he did. Because I believe he had two versions. He actually did this twice. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm putting it into the right spot because I'm not going to pretend to know what I'm doing. Yeah, see, mine's a little bit different there. But yeah, he's just going from one pin to the other. So yeah, I think I'll be okay. But anyway. All right, so let me unplug this cable real quick just to give me a bit more space here. And from what I understand, I'll just need the plus and minus out of this connector when we're done to go to the Raspberry Pi, which we'll do. But let's just figure out So it's this pad here that is connected to one of the ports on the USB-C connector. Let's see what port that is. Let me get my little multimeter here. But of course, the probes are tangled in something. Wouldn't be a Mac 84 stream if my desk was clean and my wires were untangled. People would revolt. All right. Hope everyone's been doing well and such. I haven't been doing much of anything for a while. I've been busy. All right. So this here. So let's see where what pin this goes to. Was that a resounding yes or a no? All right. So his goes to that deal over there. So, oh, wait. Goes to both? Oh, yeah, because that loops around to here. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, we're going to run a little wire. All right, so the grounds on the outside pins, the two looped together should be your 5 volts. Yes, thank you very much for confirming. It's always good to measure twice and cut once. I have been guilty of forgetting to do that sometimes, and it bites me in the butt. And I turned my soldering iron off because I was using the hot air station. I didn't want to blow a circuit or a fuse. Let's turn that back on. All right. So we're going to get all of this sorted here. Boop. All right. Wait for this to heat up again. I'm just going to press against the wood on my little bench plate here. Not the desk, but I have this little piece of wood under it just to sandwich the wire between my soldering iron to strip away some of the enamel. It's a bit easier to do it here because this enamel is a bit picky sometimes. All right, so we will just put a little blob right there and a little blob right there. That should all be what we need. So let me get my little tweezers ready because we'll have to be a little bit delicate in how we do this so we don't break it. And the tip is all dirty, so I have to clean it. So I'm not paying attention to the chat because I cannot focus on two things at once. Sorry, 1 second. Let me finish whatever the heck I'm trying to do here first. I love how this little board, not love, I hate how this little board just have a mind of its own. It's like, I'm just going to wiggle this way. And you're going to have to deal with it. It's so tiny. All right, let's try this again. All right. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt. So let's put some solder on there first and then attach the wire to it. Because now I can actually grip this darn thing. And get rid of that non-leaded solder garbage. Oops, I made a solder bridge. All right. Let's try this again. Oh, come on. That's a weak connection, Steven. You could do better than that. You do way better than that if you had more flux in the darn thing. Hold, please. Too much crap on my desk. Boop, boop, boop. That's almost how I would like it, but no, yeah, that's not going to hold. Probably would have been better if I removed, yeah, that's fine, if I removed all the existing solder. What did I say wrong? I'm very confused. All right, and then this wire has to go. Let's just loop it around, because look how nice it looks when it's looped around. And this also drives Bruce crazy. He hates when I do this, which is sort of why I do it, because I love Bruce, and it's fun to just watch him get a little crazy. Love you, Bruce. I got some boards to send you. All right, so we're gonna just, yeah, that's around there should be fine. I should put the wire through a via, and that just really just drives Bruce bonkers. He loves it when I do that. Bruce explodes. Hey, Carl, how's it going? All right, hold on, folks. I am almost done with this, and I will catch up on whatever shenanigans are going on. Bloop. That's close enough. You're filming today. Look how productive you're being, and look how productive I'm not being. This could have turned into a video, but a live stream suits my mental state at the moment, so that's what we're sticking with, and that's my excuse, and we're sticking to it. Now, this enamel is annoying to burn off, as I mentioned before, so I'm just going to scrape off a little bit of it here. I'll do the same for the other side here. There we go. That should be fine. You should do live streams. Come on my live stream. I'll take complete credit for it. I don't know. For live streams, you just have to be prepared for one thing: for nothing to ever work out the way you plan it. And as long as you mentally prepare yourself for that, and you're good at improvising, you'll be good. Where I've seen people struggle with live streams is where something goes wrong and they immediately shut down and they spend 30 minutes trying to figure out what to do, and then it's not fun for them and it's not fun for the audience usually. So you gotta just roll with it. If this thing were to explode, we'd just move on to something else, or I'd stop the stream. Probably we'd move on to a quadra board or some ungodful thing, unholy thing. All right, so I think that works there. You don't have the face or voice for YouTube. Who? That's my middle name. Oh God! All right, so that should be connected there. Let's just use our little multimeter and confirm it is. Quadruport Dana explodes. All right, let's make sure this is actually connected. Go from here to here. And let me just take this moment in time to tell everyone I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, so you should not follow me exactly. If you want to do something like this, that's great. Do your research and do blah, 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 because I'm just a weirdo, and I know some things, and I know just enough to break things. So if you want to not break things, maybe, yeah, tread carefully. All right, so we have our little USB-C board. That should work fine when plugged in. And then we have to have the two little wires, which is the green and the yellow, be soldered to the back of our little Raspberry Pi, which we can do. All right, so let's unplug this. I wish there was a Radio Shack near me. There hasn't been one for decades. All right, so we have to remove the little Pi from the screen because we're going to solder to it. I've been streaming since 2017 or so, and it's still weird. But I'm weird, so it evens out. All right, so this is the Raspberry Pi 202. We have our power input port and we have our USB port. So we have to solder in the connectors on here to supply the Pi with power. And then I also want to tap into the 5 volts to power our little Bluetooth speaker so it doesn't run out of battery or charge or whatever the heck. So let me just double check of where, yeah, so that's ground input, and then the 5 volt input is right there, I believe. Yeah, so this little pad here, thankfully, is labeled, so Where is it? Here. So this is 5 volts in, and then this pad is ground. So we just have to connect those cables, and we'll be in good shape. Now, Colin's cables are a different color. I don't know what he did there. He's being fancy. Or maybe he put the connector in backwards. I don't really know, but let me see if the connector will go in backwards. So I'm referencing his video. Yes, okay, the connector can go in backwards, so you have black and red wires, which I guess is fine. I am probably going to reuse these cables when I have to wire the thingamajig. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to cut it down the middle because there's no reason to like cut them super short. I don't need to. I'm the only one who's going to be looking inside of this darn thing. So it doesn't matter much to me. And I think you could pull these out from this. They're sort of keyed in there. Yeah, you gotta sort of do this little thing where you think that does the plastic come? Yeah, the plastic comes up, I think. Or not. I mean, how do I know? Yeah, there we go. So the plastic goes up while the metal goes down. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So much fun. Yeah, no, we're just there we go. I just ripped the cables out of there because, you know, that looks factory. Look at that. It's perfect. Where's my snips? Where I put the snips? Here they are. There. Perfect. Good as new. Good as new. All right. So we have that. And so here we just need the plus and the minus. So we're shoving that into that connector there, which doesn't, oh, I'm using the wrong side because I'm an idiot. And actually I have to cut the other ones off completely to solder it to the Pi board. So let's get our snips here. And we'll just cut like that. And so that's how it's going to look. Let me get this straight there. There we go. So we have that little connector and it goes to these two. And again, that's how our fancy wiring is. We're tapping into that pin on the side of the USB-C connector. Sorry, the focus is imperfect. And that should be about that. Okay. 640 by 480 at 2.8 inches is hard enough to see right now. It is very tiny. 1024 by 768 would be insane. Oh boy. Oh, your caps lock is broken. Ooh, that stinks. Sorry. It does look like you're shouting there in the chat. Oh boy. Yeah, some of the little pies are a little expensive. Amazon has them for like 20 to 25 bucks, but Micro Center, if you could order from microcenter.com, they will ship to you and they're $14.99. That's how much this little guy was. This 02 was $14.99. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Look, I didn't rip the pads off because I was gentle. Colin's gonna watch this and be like, "What? How dare you, sir?" That was Bruce's comment, not mine. Go watch the replay with Bruce. You'll see. I wish Micro Center was closer to me. Actually, I don't because I'd be a much poorer man. All right, so we got that settled. Let's just strip these wires back just a little bit. And then I need to find, because that's 5, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because logic is not my, I'm dumb sometimes. And so I'm going to forget this instantly, but I think, yeah, this is the power input. I also need to tap into power output to charge the Bluetooth speaker, which is also on the USB port. But I don't think I would be tapping into the same. Actually, no, right? No, I could brain go. That should be fine, I think. So in theory, if I wanted power to go into the Pi and power it via 5 volts, that's here. And then if I want that 5 volts from the Pi to power the Bluetooth speaker, I could do the same wire. Yeah, because it would be the same ground. So I would have to tap into this 5 volts twice. Maybe. I was thinking of doing it on the USB port here. Yeah, let me see where that goes on there. Yeah, 5 volts is 5 volts. Steve Brain don't working now gooder. Oh, Lord. It's been a while, folks. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Let's get this sorted away, and then we'll deal with the Bluetooth, which is going to be its own little adventure. So let's just double check that the wires are actually labeled. Yeah, so red is going to be our 5 volts. So let's get that over here. And I need to find my solder. Hey, Max with Lynx Pro on it. Golfing? Is that what that is? Forgive me if I can't remember. Yeah, I am not prepared for Macintosh, which is 15 days away or so. I am not prepared for VCF East. I will be, I guess, eventually. But right now, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'll bring this for sure. That'll be fun. But yeah, I wish I could have made it to VCF Southwest. My schedule did not allow for it. But one of these years, I would love to make it. That would be fun. That would be fun to do. All right, so we got our little 5 volt input. That's fine there. Yeah, I can do that. But the header is used by the screen, and I'm not sure exactly what the screen is using, but that is a very good point, Bruce. I think I can manage it, because we'll look at the speaker next. There is quite a bit of room, I believe. So I think we should be okay. But I'm glad my friends are here, because I would just make dumb decisions if not. Well, I'll make dumb decisions anyway. Why not? All right, so it's our ground here. We'll tin that up. Yeah, that's good. That is a little too long for my liking. There we go. All right, so the thing is, our power supply is USB micro instead of USB-C, but I do have an adapter that was all of $3 at Micro Center. So we'll be using that externally, just because I already paid $7 for the adapter. I don't want to have to get another one. And I have USB-C cables, so I guess we could use that too, but you know, I have the adapter, so might as well. Yeah, the screen is hogging the header there. Now, one thing I would like to do, and let me go back to the other screen here to talk about this more, now that we have more people here. I would love to do a little modification here, because here's the Maclock as it is, and here's a little board that came with it. I have no intention of using this board ever again, but there are a few things on this board that I want to use. Most likely, most importantly, these little 2 micro switch button dealies. And I don't know where I put the darn thing. Going here. There's a little rotary encoder thing here. I would love to use those 2 pieces for something, but they are part of this board, and when you put the whole board in, it sort of blocks where the Pi and everything else rests. So I might just cut this board. It's very thin, but I mean, that would obviously make this thing not work ever again. But am I gonna use this? No, I'm not really. So yeah, I'll probably just like cut it. Yeah. Tom Barber toasted a bagel with his trash can. So I'm thinking, if I were to cut like here, and then I guess it would look ugly. It would look really ugly. I don't know what I'd actually use the rotary dial for. It would be cool if I could wire that in to do the brightness or something like that, or perhaps the volume. But I don't know I don't know how to interface that with the Pi as of yet, but I could figure it out, I'm sure. What I know how to do, just through brute force, is I want to wire up one of these buttons to be the Bluetooth on-off button, so I don't have to worry about turning the speaker on or off, or if it's not connected, I don't have to rip the whole thing apart to get to that. So that's what we will be doing. Ugly on the inside, like politicians. Oh boy. All right, so yeah, we'll get to that. So we have this all wired up. Let's figure out how the Bluetooth speaker gets power. So that's why I ripped this thing open. It's this little $7 speaker, surprisingly loud. It's tinny, but whatever, it's fine. And so we have the little system there on a chip and everything. I need a little tiny Phillips screwdriver to remove these two screws here. Let's try and do that. The microscope, I think, is overkill for this, but we're doing it anyway, so sorry. Let's get this little screw out of there. Get this little screw out of here. And yeah, this is the tiniest Bluetooth speaker I could get. And it was pretty cheap. Because the Pi Zero, I don't think has any audio, like digital analog audio, like any little DACs or any speaker outputs. And yeah, there were some hats and stuff that you could buy. But I didn't want to go that route because the screen was already using up a lot of the little GPIO pins. I didn't know which ones would conflict. And I'm like, wait, this has Bluetooth. I'll just use Bluetooth. All right, so it looks like we have a few wires here. Let's get this plastic out of this little board. Let's separate those. Give me 1 second here. Yes, I added wise observation there. Story time. This is all Tom Barber's fault. So I have this bench power supply that my good friend gave to me, which was a very, very kind donation. I needed one. I didn't have one at all. The problem is these power supplies have big capacitors in them. And so let's say I'm powering something. I set this thing to 12 volts. I plug it in, I wire it up to 12 volts, and all of a sudden that thing starts smoking or sparking, and I need it off now. Well, if I turned it off, the capacitor slowly drained the power. And it does that for quite a few seconds. More expensive power supplies have another button right here where this USB port is that turns the whole power supply on and off. And so what I did is I just added a button. My friend Tom Barber did this, so I stole that idea from him. Very nice, satisfying, clicky button here. And yeah, so he was able to fit it on the front. I just, put mine on the back. And of course I drilled through the wrong hole in the, so it's over there. But yeah, this acts as a little kill switch, which is just a good extra piece of mind there, just in case something is sparking. I'm like, oh crap, and I just do that. So I think it was like $4 at the hardware store for that button. So open core. Ah, yes. Anyone having kernel panics with Linux kernel? Blah, blah, blah. I couldn't help you there, but if you post on Tinker Different, there's a lot of smart cookies over there. So if you go to the Tinker Different forum, that might be helpful. Check the line in on the rotary girder. yeah. I was checking the line in on the rotary girder thing. God, I'm oh, good old Tommy boy. All right, anyway, back to whatever the heck we're doing here. We need to get this board out from the plastic, so let's do that. I think we just, yeah, there we go. And so you can't see anything because, yeah, let's just adjust that. There we go. Sorry, I know the microscope's overkill for this. I should use the other camera, but let me just zoom out for a second. There we go. Okay, so we have this little board, and this is the Bluetooth and power board for the little speaker. Oh, that's great, Kate. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. So the button, I know I beeped it out already. It's like two of these little things, and so I could wire that to the Mac button on the chin, which is great. And then here's the USB-C connector, which it looks like we have, so that's battery. Okay, so it looks like we have ground, and then, so that's for the battery that's plugged in. I need to find out where the voltage input on this USB-C connector is. Maybe it's DP for delivery of power. I have no idea. We could, I guess, look up the pin out for USB-C, which I'm not familiar with, really. So we'd have to do that. But at least we have ground there. So what I would like to do is wire that up directly to that Pi, which is going to get the same power supply and all that fun stuff. So I'm wondering if this... No, I don't think that would be... Well, no. Well, was it? Yeah, all right. Well, the battery is connected to this DP, and the ground is connected to the ground. I'm not sure if that's if that's really what I think it is, but we will see. You know, I wish I had, actually, I kind of, nah, sort of. Hold, please. Those are USB-A, so that's not going to help me here. Yeah, so I have this little dealie that helps me, let me switch cameras here, that helps me determine if a USB cable is power only or anything like that. So this could help me, in theory, plug that board into here and then beep it out, but I'm not sure. Sorry, what am I sitting on? Oh, HDMI, mini HDMI. We don't need that right now. But let's look up the pinout of this here. All right, so USB-C pinout. I don't need like the fancy one with all of the darn thingamajigs. So it's not USB like super fast, whatever the heck. All right, so those are ground, ground, ground. I see D plus D minus, so that's data plus data minus, I guess. Or not. Well, let me get one that actually has like all the listings. Here we go. Yeah, so that's that sounds like something that Tom would do. Why can't I find a good diagram here that's not just like sorry folks, 1 second. Why no find go? USB-C pinout. You need a cable to connect to either, and then it gives Linux, Dells, Debians. Brain, no good. Here we go. This explains. USB data, cable bus power is V bus. Ground. I mean, I'm learning all about the data, but what power? I just need to know where the electricity go in. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna mispronounce your name, but Ariotto. Here goes try two. Arioto wa Shinda. Thank you very much for sending 5 gift membership dealies. There you go. Thank you. Anybody who received those, that's awesome. Thank you very much for doing that. That's very kind of you. I always forget those were a thing. That's very awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Where's the override? All right. Back to braining on this thing. It looks like this is just the cheapo. Yeah, because this only has. I can't even see in this thing. I think only a few pins of this are actually here. Yeah, so I have a YouTube membership deal, and basically it's like a Patreon type thing. That's basically what it is. So let's see if we could zoom in. Yeah, there we go. We only have like 1, 2, 3. We have 3 pins on each side of this USB-C connector. So I think it'll be pretty easy to figure out which one is power now that we know that. Okay, great. So that is helpful. And I do have this little cable that came with it. It's USB-C to USB-A. I'm just going to plug that in here. And I know the USB-A pinout is much more straightforward because it's literally 4. So VCC is all the way on the left, on this side here. So let's get my multimeter out here. This will be 5 volts in. And so this is going to be fun. Let's see where that goes. You can't see anything with this microscope in this certain situation, so I apologize. I'm just going to be on me for 1 second while I figure this out. Chaotically. As one does. So that is... Okay. So that does not go to the pin that we thought it did, which is fine. Let's see what pin that actually does go to. Doesn't go to anything. Well, I'm not pushing it in correctly, I assume. Hold on. This is going to be fun. Because if I don't hold it correctly, it's just going to go to ground. And, oh, my multimeter shut off. That's why it's not making any noise anymore. I have plenty of cheese grater, Max. Would you like one? Come on down. Okay, so the second pin in seems to be power for this little board. There we go. So the power input from USB, at least, seems to be this little pin here, the second one in on each side, because it's the same. So that is where we need to tap into for input of 5 volts, I would assume. And yeah, that should work. Now, just curious where that goes to on the little board. And let's adjust the focus here so you folks could actually see what I'm seeing. Nice, huh? You and your trash can Mac Pros are making me jealous. I don't have one. I don't need one. But I do not have one. Yeah, that should just be ground. Well, it should, but it's not. Alright, so now that probably goes to the other side of this board here. So actually, I'm going to plug this in because it'll be easier to trace that other side by doing this here. Because I'm curious if that on this side equals this here. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, wait. Okay, so the power is this little guy here. So 5 volts in is this, and then we have ground here. So if I put 5 volts here, that should, because it's coming from the cable, that should power it, and then we have ground. I have no idea what the DP is, but it is what it is. I would be happy to, Bruce, if I knew where my phone was. There it is. And I'm going to solder something, and then Bruce is going to go, that's the wrong side. And I'm going to go, damn it! The wires are going to be a bit in the way here, Bruce, so apologies, but I will do my best. Bruce is like, he's suffering! I must help / correct him. and for which I am thankful. Photos away! All right. So I think that is the way to go, but Bruce can correct me if I am wrong. I guess R might be for the radio, like the little antenna. No, I guess no. That's the antenna. That's the antenna part. Anywho. Yeah, I can't go to my e-waste facility because if I do, I see things that I want, and you're not supposed to take anything, and I would get in trouble. That's just like setting me up for failure. You know? That would be bad. This would be very bad. Very bad. All right, so we have the USB-C connector soldered into our Pi. So the next step is going to be soldering in these little cables for the speaker. Bruce began interrupting the stream. Bruce can interrupt the stream as long as he needs to, because he has saved my ass on multiple occasions of me doing dumb thing. Ah, goodness. Just don't plug into PD supply to it. You blow things up. Yeah, no, the only power supply I'm plugging into this thing would be the Raspberry Pi one, which is like, what does this box say? But I think it's like 5 volts. Yeah, 5 volts, 2.5 amps. That'll be fine. All right. So let's solder up the ground pad first, because that is my plan is sound. Now that's just scary as all hell, Bruce. Nothing scares me more than, yeah, Steve knows what he's doing. All right, so at least the ground is there. So we're going to use green for ground because, yay, colors. I like colors. That pretty colors. Welcome to whatever the hell this channel has become. Oh, have a good night. Thank you very much for stopping by. Sorry, I'm so focused on whatever the heck I'm doing that I'm doing an awful job of paying attention to the chat, but I do appreciate all the fun conversations going on there. Okay, so this is gonna... Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be open anyway. It doesn't freaking matter. Well, it would be nice if I could put this all back in like a neat little package here, so it's not like all jank. I mean, we love our jank, but also like it would be cool if this was not waiting to catch fire inside of the system. You know, I'm gonna use the little hole. I know Bruce hates it, but I'm gonna just sneak the little wire through that hole, because no one's gonna look at the inside of this. Only you watching the stream will know. Good ground connection there. We'll know. It's a little secret from my friends. Go. All right, and then the yellow can be the 5 volts, and that will go in there as well. I'm going to trim that just a little bit because that doesn't need to be so long here. I hope this is fairly entertaining, folks. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It's been a while since I streamed. I'm all over the place. Something about computers and brains and things. All right, and we're going to try and solder this to that little dot there. Bloop. There's my tweezers. Always nice to have my tweezers. Alien tape. I have gaffer's tape. Is that good enough? Dave loves his alien tape. Must be a sponsor. That's my feeling. Whoopsie doo. There. I'm satisfied with that. And I will put some tape on this side just so it doesn't have any risk of shorting anything out. But look at that. Look at that. Very nice. Very nice. If I do say so myself. Yeah. Fire! 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 Yeah, I went to RePC once. You likely might have seen my video on it. It's like my best performing video. which I did on a whim, thanks to my lovely wife. I said, "Can we go?" Because I was there for a business trip, and she's like, "Yeah, I guess so." So she allowed me to buy a bunch of crap. And after a few years of that video being out, it has paid for all the crap that I bought at that event, at that store. So that was cool. Would love to go back again. What does this contraption do anyway? Well, it's gonna be a thing. A thing. So there's a video in the description, Starbuck, that Colin of This Is Not Compute did, and he gave me some instructions, and I'm following them. And basically, it turns this little clock into a Raspberry Pi emulated Macintosh. And so we're just wiring up everything now, but soon we'll have a running little computer. I mean, it's already working. It's just not in the case. It's not pretty. So we're going to try and make it all pretty. Just going to put this little piece of tape over here, just to make sure we are not shorting out anything. And I forget which screw went where, but guess it doesn't matter now. I guess we could just leave that off, but I want to just like keep that like that, and that'll be fine. Nothing's gonna short anything out there. But I do need to solder two little pads to that for that button, because that's how you control if the Bluetooth is on and off, and I want to wire to that. So I believe it's here and here. Let's yep, that's it. All right. Mac 84 quote unquote thing. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is use some more wires, and we're going to wire up that button. It doesn't matter really which way it goes, but let's just get some cabling here. I'm all over the place tonight. I'm just going to keep apologizing. It's always fun wiring these things up when there's a little battery that still has a charge on it. Just sort of makes you a little bit worried. So, yeah, boy. All right, so we're gonna just put a little dab of solder on you. It's also one of those projects where you're like, oh, this will take like 5 minutes, and you actually go to do it. It's like, all right, I gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that. I'm gonna give myself plenty of wire there. I'm gonna do the same for this. Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, we don't have any stores like RePC that I'm aware of here in New Jersey, which is a shame. I think that is an absolute fantastic idea to not only provide a place for people to pick up used stuff, but they also have a whole business of repairs and stuff like that. So if you buy something from there, or you need help, or you just need a computer for your kid to do his schoolwork or whatever, like that's cool to me. And we don't have anything like that here at all, which I think is really a shame. It sucks. If I won the lottery or whatever, I would love to invest in doing something like that, because it keeps these things out of the landfills. So you have the whole enthusiast market of it, but it also makes it so if you just want to buy like a secondhand machine that could do your work or your schoolwork, Yes, I discovered that too. I think they had an app for it, Hardware Hacker, but you're welcome to email me if you have any hot tips or anything like that. Usually I just when I use that device, which I don't have it actually plugged in at the moment, haven't had it plugged in for a while, I just use the buttons on the front, which are very handy. I suppose you could get very technical with that if you wanted to program it a specific way, but I have not had the requirement or the need, I guess, to do that currently. But that could change. Oh god, there we go. Jeez. Pain in the butt. All right. Cool. All right. So, in theory, if we hold these two leads together, that device should turn on. I said in theory. Well, maybe these are not tinned enough. Maybe they're not making a good connection. Yay! Cool. Let's turn that off. So let's turn that. Well, just, yeah, this is not scraped away enough. Sorry, folks. Again, the worst view of this thing. No, turn off, please. All right, perfect. Okay, let's resize this window because that's not doing anybody any favors. All right, cool. So the speaker still has its battery plugged in, Bruce. The Maclock, we're removing the battery completely, and we're just using the power supply for the Raspberry Pi to power the Pi. And what I also want to do is tap into that just to power the speaker through its USB port. So the idea would be, because the speaker, hold on, the wrong screen. The speaker's battery is sandwiched into this thing. I'm not digging that out. So the idea was to wire USB power into this speaker just to, like, as it would act just through a normal connector, just so I don't have this big thing inside of the Pi, because I thought that would be sort of a waste of space. So that's why I wanted to tap into where the 5 volts went in on that USB-C connector, and just so the wires that we could tap into on the button as well. So on the front of this little Mac guy, there's buttons on the bottom, and I want to wire that into that so I could just control this easily, if that makes sense. Let me know if my logic is not sound. I have not thought more about this for like 5 whole minutes. Where'd the tape go? Let's just use it. I had the roll of tape. There it is, right in front of me. Jeez. Jeez. I mean, I've certainly bought things at places that said tested or working or as is, and they were just completely broken. But I was half expecting that. It's also why I tend to be extremely frugal. So I don't care how well-intentioned you are. Sometimes stuff just don't work. That's fine, but sometimes just it don't work. All right, so let's get some electrical tape here. And I'm just going to crudely put some tape on the bottom of this, just so it doesn't risk shorting anything out. I mean, I guess it wouldn't, but yeah, actually, that should be fine there. Let's put a little bit of tape there. A little bit of tape there, and it would also block that annoying LED. Oh boy. All right, so green is ground. All right, and then this would be our little button, which is fine. So I guess next step, we could switch cameras here, is I should cut up this board to use. I guess there would be no going back once I cut it up. Hey, Mark, how's it going? And anybody else I did not say hello to? Sorry, I've been like heads down trying to get this thing to do stuff and wiring up stuff and things like that. So my apologies. Did not mean to ignore anyone, but I guess I'm going to clip this up, because otherwise I would have to find a breadboard or whatever and set that up. And honestly, I'm not going to assemble this again. There's a proprietary screen for it and everything like that. And it's just a clock. And I have so many clocks around the house. I'm trying to talk myself out of doing it, but I'm just going to do it anyway. It's It's just a little stupid board. It's stupid. So I have those buttons here, and this attaches to that via a screw mount. So that should give it enough there. So there's no going back now, I guess. Oh wait, that attaches that screw, and that goes to that one. Okay, so we should probably do below here. Oh, that board is tougher than I anticipated. That is not a cheapo board. That's, I guess, good, but I feel bad now about doing this. But anyway. Yay! Technology! Mmm. Deliciousness. Should probably have scored this a bit, but I talk to myself all the time. So this is sort of where I want to make a cut, and it would go down here. There we go. All right. This is going to be messy. But I only need half of this to work. There we go. I wonder if I could just go. No, it's not scored enough. I could sort of persuade it to bend if I wanted to. Yeah, I guess having the speaker with the battery, I mean, it's just going to be charged the whole time. I don't know. I guess it also lets me in the future, if I ever want to battery power the Pi, it takes sort of, I could always unwire it and just set it up so those are individual things. No, this is gonna make me clip the whole way through, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this is tougher than I had anticipated. Oh boy. All right, well, we're making our way through slowly. What a mess. All right. More dust that I should not be inhaling. Delicious, delicious dust. Okay. There we go. Good as new. all to get some buttons off of this thing. Hopefully this stays secure with just that one screw. And it will. Perfect. All right. So I need to get that little rotary thing over here. Oh, wrong damn screen open. I'm an idiot. Sorry, folks. So I'm going to take this here. Put that little rotary thing here. It's just cosmetic at this point in time, but just showing you sort of how this is working and fitting together. And here's the clock base here, and there's that PCB I cut. So that's gonna just sit right here. There's that little screw, and then when I push these buttons at the bottom, they're gonna push those buttons there. So now I need to wire one of those buttons, which would be the one where the little bell is, because that's obviously the one related to sound visually. So we'll just use that. I'll wire that to this, which thankfully should be fairly easy. Whoopsies. As I drop things. Alrighty. I'll just put some good solder on there, because this probably has some junk on there. Actually, you know what? I could probably just do this a little bit easier. Yeah, I mean, this is just all to here. This is just, yeah, I could just scrape this away. Give myself a bigger area here. Again, no one's going to see this but me. And I don't care. It's not going to win any beauty pageants, that's for sure. I need more flux. There we go. Perfect. And I don't care either. I'm glad we don't have any persnickety people here who are like, oh my god, you're ruining the factory thingamajig. But then again, I'm the type of person that I have trouble defacing or pulling chips from Mac motherboards that are dead and have no it's like no chance in hell they'd ever be recovered. So I'm like, oh, but that might be sort of useful. Oh boy. All right. So let's just put a bit more flux on that, and then we can tin up these little wires, and then we'll see if our switch works, because it better. Let's get this so you can actually see what the hell I'm doing here, huh? That would be nice. And then I have to go and find the screws for this darn thing, because they're on my desk upstairs somewhere. Oh, wait, I know where they are. I just remembered. Yay. Ow, hot. All right. Try and do this in a way where I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Everything is sort of awkward here. All right. Guess it doesn't matter which one goes where. Stay put. It's like the messiest solder job I've done in a while. I did fix a Color Classic board today. Bruce will be pissed off to know that. It was a really nasty one too. Someone must have taken literally a plumber's soldering iron to it, because this board had scorches all over it. And I was on Dave's stream, so if you really want to watch me do that, you can go back and do it. But it wasn't really bad except where the solder pads were. Everything else seemed to be okay, but this thing just took a beating. Like someone just soldered it with like a blowtorch or something. It was pretty bad. All right, there we go. So let's see if this works, if this Bluetooth speaker will turn on. If I hold this button, it does. And then when I hold the button again, it shuts off. Excellente. All right, that works. Sweet. Oh, wait, shut up. Did I break it? Oh no, it's turning itself back on. What the hell? Did I wire that? How would I have wired that up incorrectly? Or is it just like the pressure from this? Oh, let's see if it was the Kapton tape pushing down the button. Come on. That's weird. What the hell's going on? It's like on, and the light's blinking. It keeps like, hold on. Oh, unless this switch is wired differently than I think it is. What the hell? Hold on. Figure out what the hell's going on here. So it's a momentary switch. What the hell? Stop turning yourself on. What did I do? I mean, there is some circuitry here. Maybe it's still connected. Yeah, maybe it's still connected to something. Oh boy. I just need to sever it from whatever the hell it's. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Let's sever that connection. The fudge, Steven, you idiot. I'll just use the board, it'll be fine. Oh boy. Now we have the problem of it turning on and off by itself. On and off. Alright, I'm gonna desolder this really quickly, because that will drive me nuts really quick. There we go. Alright. Okay, so there's obviously a little controller and everything like that, so this button might be interfering with some... I don't freaking know. There's ground there, ground there. Let's make sure that these are actually wired up the way I think they are. The Bluetooth device is right to pair. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Jeez. The sound's gonna haunt me. Alright. Alright, that's ground. Alright, and if I push the button... Yeah, okay. But something weird is happening here. This is ground, that's ground, that's ground. And this goes somewhere. So if I just rip off that trace, maybe that will solve whatever nonsense is going on here. Just like come over here. I've never had to sever a trace before intentionally. Well, not in a long time. Look how easy that is to do. All right, maybe that'll solve it. Well done. Oh boy. Let's try this again, shall we? Turn off, please. All right, let's make sure it doesn't turn itself back on. And it doesn't. All right, now I'm going to turn it on. Yay! Okay, now it works as intended. Jeez. Yeah, if this thing goes boop, 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 boop in like the middle of the night, I'm throwing it across the room. Huh. All right. I guess I could put the electrical tape back on because that wasn't the problem. But we're just going to put that tape there just like there. That's fine. Okay, cool. So we have our jank speaker being jank as normal. We haven't even got to the hot glue part yet, folks. So if you think, wow, this is janky, just wait, folks. That's all I got to say. You ain't seen nothing yet. All right. So let's put this into our little faceplate deal thingamajig. I can make it do a lot of sounds, I'm sure. But, all right. So we're going to put this here. I had to go upstairs and grab this screw. Oh, no, wait. I think this... Did I bring down the toolbox? Yes, I did. So, in theory, if I... Let's move the camera down here. Oh, the white balance of this is terrible today. I apologize, folks. So, I'm going to pretend that this is all sorted like this. So, if I hold down this button... I said if I hold down this button... Why won't it stay? Oh boy. There we go. Perfecto. Okay, great. That's one thing to not worry about right now. Okay, and then we still need to power the speaker from the Pi, and then we need to affix the speaker to the case. Now, the other thing that we have to do is get this screen centered correctly, because unfortunately the way it is, it's not going to fit in this case. So I made two little dots here on the frame, which you can maybe see, and I have to cut that away, unfortunately. test it with the multimeter. We will do that. Let's just cut some things out of frustration first. So, sorry, old pal here, but we do have to make some cuts in you. This is going to be fun. I just need to get my tool wiggled in there to like start the cut. There. Cut off some random wires. Boop, 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 boop. Doo, 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 doo. All right, so I thought this would be easier, but obviously isn't, because I am thankfully not making... I mean, no one's going to see this side of it, but still I want to be careful. So I don't want to screw up the case at all, because that's the whole point of this thing, is the looks of it. Who cares what the inside looks like, but the outside I want to keep looking nice. And I forgot what other tool Colin said he used to file it down, but that LCD screen is not going to fit unless we remove this plastic here. So that's what we have to do. He made it look much easier. Literally me following a YouTube video in a live stream. Like, how do you do the thing? Mine didn't come out like that. Which wire? They're all red. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, I have my little scalpel here, but I don't think that is strong enough to actually cut any of this here. I doubt it. We could try. At least make like an indentation of what I would like to. An electric knife would work, like a hot knife. That would cut through this. I do have a Dremel. My shirt says Seattle. It's freaking cold. It is exactly 32 degrees here. And so that's like 60 something degrees in the basement. It's not... Well, actually, I can get the exact reading of the basement. See, now that you're this distraction's on you, buddy. It is exactly 61 degrees in the basement right now. It's a bit cold. I have little slippers on. Trying to stay warm. Trying. It's also why I haven't been live streaming. My goodness. It has been much colder than 60 degrees Fahrenheit in the basement over the past few weeks because of this horrible weather we've been having. Ugh. I guess I could just cut that whole thing there because nobody puts... second guessing yourself as you go along. That's a great way to do it, Stephen. Okay, sorry. I have the camera there. Come on. Just stay there for like a minute. Let me see if I got just the white balance of this thing. It's terrible. It's close enough, I guess. Trying to think of what other tools I have that could be used to... The Dremel... I don't think that the bit I have is a little star bit, so I don't think it's gonna really... Yeah. I mean, it's not... the floor is much colder, so the environment here is 60 degrees. I'm gonna say the floor is probably 45 degrees. That's what my feet are on right now, so it's a little too chilly for me. I normally like to be a little bit cool as well. I'd prefer to be cold than warm, but it's one of those things where I want it to be spring already. There we go. All right, this is... We're getting there. We just had to make way for the tool here. That's probably the most boring part because you can't see crap of what I'm doing. But we're getting there, hopefully. Anyone see any good movies lately? Awkward silence of me cutting into this poor plastic case. There we go. All right. You have cats for heat sources. We have a bunny, but he's very tiny. I mean, he gets warm, but he's also very tiny. So it's like 3 pounds of fluff. Fur keeps him warm. I don't think he would keep us warm. We'd freeze to death before he would, that's for sure. All right. Let's hope I don't slice into my fingers here. That would be not fun for me. We'll probably make enjoyable content. You see that one stream where Mac84 chopped off his finger? I subscribed after that one. All right, let's see how the screen fits in here now. So sort of have to lean into this one here. And actually, I think we're almost there. I just need to cut off this little nub in the corner. And I think we're good. Because the screws will hold it in place. Hopefully. Yeah, Dana has, let's say, sizable cats. That's sort of working. Why is this not fitting in correctly? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Probably a lot. But in the context of this project. Okay, there we go. I think that is much better. So I am going to just temporarily screw this in so we can get a sense for how it looks. Just give me a moment here. Did I put the screws in there? Yes, I did. Look at that. I actually remembered how to do a thing. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, let's get one of these little screws here. And we are going to use the existing screws, or the holes rather, where the display was, if this wants to cooperate. Oh, come on. Doesn't help that I'm not using the right screwdriver here. Literally have a screwdriver set right in front of you, Steven. You imbecile. Just get the bit you need. Oh, boy. I would like to do something with the dial in the future. I would need to read up. Kate posted a great little link there before. I'm assuming it's great. I didn't look at it, but, you know, she has a good track record. And I assume I could write some little program or copy and paste some little program that would make that work as like a little volume or brightness thing. At this point in time, I don't need it to do anything, but that's why I wanted to sort of save that board so I could tap into it and do that in the future if I wanted to. Set myself up for the future. Okay, these screws are not going in where they should. What the heck is going on? There aren't 2 types of screws. No, they're all the same damn screws. Well, I have plenty of other screws I could try. This might just be too dull? I don't understand. I do not get. Why not do? Oh, well. Let's try again. Let's just clean out the little... I think there was just like gunk where the screw was usually supposed to go. It was not wanting to go in there. Yeah, I mean, that's happier now. All right, so we're just going to put that in temporarily because we're going to have to adjust things. I'm going to have to clip off the knob part of this 3D print. I'm going to have to put the pie back on. I'm going to have to take the screen protector off. I'm going to have to do all these things. In fact, where's the other parts of that? There it is. Make sure this actually fits the way it's supposed to with that and everything. My goodness, this is a little fiddly little thing, isn't it? I mean, it's fun to build when everything goes correctly. There. Okay, let's try again, shall we? It has to be like a millimeter over this way. Whatever, it's close enough. Just for our little demonstration here, which I hope works. All right, so we have that there. Let's plug our little pie in. And we'll be using our USB micro port just because that's the one I got plugged in over here. Plug that into there. That should sort of just stand up here, just like that. Let's flick the power switch. And I see the little green light. I'll wait for that to boot up. Give that a minute or so. I see some light on the screen now. And the most important thing I want to make sure is just that it's all centered and everything. Looks pretty good. It gave me a Bluetooth error. That's fine. Welcome to Macintosh. You can't see that because, you know, reasons, but I could bring it closer. And it's a little crooked. It's a little sideways. I could fix that. But it's centered a bit better. So that's good. So I do have to fuss with that a little bit. Yeah, so the screen itself is not exactly centered. All right, so let's fiddle with that. It's hard to see because everything's black. The frame is black. The screen is black. Let's undo that here. Once we get everything all buttoned up and ready, then we can tinker around with it and play games. Yeah, ooh, updates. And make sounds and do all sorts of things. But yay, VCF East. Woo! It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun show. Alright, yeah, the LCD was not seated proper. Well, this bracket is also slightly not printed straight. Way to go, 3D printer. I swear to God, my 3D printer hates me. Nothing it prints is perfect. There's always like a bit of fiddling that I have to do with it. Okay, let's try this again. So if that goes down there like that, sort of fits in like that, and that fits in there. Let's not use the screws this time. Let's just hold it. And let's see how straight it is. I might have to print a new 3D thing, which I probably don't have time to do on this stream, but my goodness, it's midnight here already. How about that? I'll wait for this to turn on. And it's dusty. I gotta clean that up before I patch this all up. I think that's a little bit more even? That's a bit better, but yeah, I mean, I think that's the best I'm going to get. It's hard to tell from the angle. Because there's only so much you can do with the border of the screen, you know. Oops. Because I literally almost dropped the stupid thing. Yeah. So what Colin did to sort of hide the fact that the screen is sort of not exactly perfect is he used, where's the original screen? He used this frame, which makes it darker, but it also has the rounded corners. You could sort of see it. And so that would sort of, he had a different 3D bracket for it. That would sort of make, I don't know why it's not booting up. This happens sometimes, it's weird. That would sort of clean that up a little bit, but I mean, for me, it's going to be a little desk accessory. I'm not too concerned about that. And I could like put it over by millimeter. It should be okay. Yeah. So I could like, sorry, hard to do this and look at the same time. Can nudge it that way a little bit. I think I would have to cut into that a bit more. Yeah, let me do that. Mackie is the property of Kate. I'm not just going to put Mackie on there. I could watch a Macintosh Librarian YouTube video. Well, there's a little glass, plastic rather, piece that sort of makes it a little bubble. So that sort of helps make it a little bit round. Let me just finish cutting this. I didn't do a good job of getting this piece of plastic out of there. All right, let's see if that helps a little bit. All right, let's see. That's a little bit better. Kind of. Hold on. It's hard because there's a little case that's not really attached to it, sort of clipped on the screen. That doesn't look too bad. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to affix this to this because it doesn't seem to want to line up perfectly with some of the screw holes here, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. So I'm just gonna pull the plug on this. I don't need to shut it down gracefully or anything like that. So now I'm going to tap the, I guess I should do that. Well, let's see. Does it interfere? Yes, it does. So I will have to, let's see how this board goes in here. Let's see. This little guy back in here. That, and this sits there, but that gets in the way. So I have to, this was the old 3D print, which we don't need that part anymore. Oh, that just snapped and flew across the room. There we go, that's perfect. So it just sort of sits like that. We have our speaker wired up, which will be more wired up in a moment. Actually, that might not be long enough. I might have, might be a little tight fit, but it should be fine. You can always extend that. All right. Yeah, let me screw that down. At least a little board here with the little buttons. Before I do that, I should probably skirt the little wires this way, so I don't, that's fine. So let's see if this button actually works again. Yay! Hooray! Okay, that works as intended. Now we just have to make sure everything else is sort of fit. So just to show you folks how we're doing this here, that's how we have that going. Cat likes the sound. Oh boy. All right, and figuring out the way that because that screw post does not line up with that. Maybe it's just my 3D printer. What, I don't know. But so then this speaker, we're going to position everything in the case there. This speaker is going to go towards the back, so it's like that. But these, yeah, these wires are not long enough. I will need longer wires to power the little USB guy, which is fine. I got longer cables. They might be the same color because I usually have like random crap around here. Yeah, here's like a blue cable. Was it Ethernet cable? That's fine. Just extend that. I should just yeah, I'm sure there's another color here. Just look at my desk. Full of weird little cables and junk sitting around. Not like Bruce's desk. Bruce's desk is all so tidy and clean. Oh, the wondrous place that Bruce's desk is. Makes me jealous. Bruce is going to be like, are you talking about the same Bruce? Oh, this is going to be so jank. But I don't care. Because it is late now, and so I would like to wrap this up a little bit. So at least it's all in one spot. But I'm not in a rush. I'm not that tired or anything, so. Right, that's good. Then we have this little guy. This will be connected to the yellow guy. Now this is the voltage stuff, so we just have to be careful that we don't mistake these. Oh, come on, just stay together. Ah, hot. Fire indeed, hot. Yeah, it's fine. All right, we will put some electrical tape or whatever the heck on it. Oh, this is from Micro Center, this little set. It is not, it is the Inland brand. It's a cheap brand. It was like $20. I'm not spending $45, $60, $70 or whatever the hell Micro Center stuff. Don't get me wrong. iFixit. Don't get me wrong. They have some nice stuff. I just would rather spend the money on actual things I would use. Yeah, that should be fine. Now, you know what? Let's use slightly larger. That's fine. So I'm just using some heat shrink here. We're being fancy. Using some heat shrink. Because I don't want to worry about things touching when they shouldn't. Let's turn it on. Let's turn this off. I could have just wired these directly to the thing, but I'd like to give myself a little bit more room just in case. Alrighty. Oh, where'd the other one go? There it is. Hot. All right. That should be fine, and that'll sit there. This will also make it so if ever I have to remove this, it would give me plenty of space. You're scared of your desk. You don't go near it anymore. So yeah, that would let me pull out the whole thing. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. So strip that a little bit. So this would go to the 5 volts. And the green will go to ground. So technically, what I'm going to do here is just talk out loud, because Bruce said my thoughts are sound, which scares the shit out of me. Ooh, I said that word. I could have said the other word. So this 5 volts will go to that 5 volts. So the 5 volts coming in will power both the speaker and the Pi. And then the ground is ground, so that's fine. All right, so we're just going to wire that all up so everything is the same. Before I do that, I'm going to test this USB-C power to see if it actually powers the Pi. And my adapter is upstairs. Let me go grab that really quick. I'm going to put on the Be Right Back music. The volume level might be slightly different, so if you're wearing headphones, now is your cue to take them off of your head. So I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes. Ignore the 5-minute thing. I didn't change the text because I'm lazy. Dancing time. Okay. Bag of gizmos from Micro Center. And here's exactly what I need. All of $3.96. Yes, please clean my workbench. So this little guy takes USB micro B and turns it to a USB-C. Excuse me. Good night, Dave. Wait, I'm in a worse time zone than you, and you're going to bed. So this will plug into the USB-C here and allow me to use the original Raspberry Pi power adapter. So let's see if that works without exploding anything. I will turn the power adapter switch off and plug it in. Good thing it fits. And we'll... Oh, that's not screwed in. Just gonna sort of sit there. And I'm gonna flip the switch. No smoke or anything, which is a good sign. I'm just waiting to see if a picture comes on here. I see the little light, so that's a good sign. And it's booting up, it seems. There we go. Perfecto. Well, not all offices have the day off, unfortunately. In this crazy world we live in, it's not the case. Okay, great. So that is working. So let me shut it down through VNC. Okay, so let's wait for that device to shut off. Okay, turn that off at the switch. Always like to have manual control of the power. Okay, good thing that works. Let's move that over here. Now, I guess I could wire this up. If I really wanted to, I could tap these wires into the little board here. So not everything is touching the Pi, and that would have actually been a smarter thing to do. But I didn't think about that until now. Because, yeah. Anyway, I'll just go wire it to the Pi. It's fine. Right, so this will be where the 5 volts is. Looks like that's a little bit more exposed than I would prefer. But I'm going to put some tape on it anyway. It'll be fine. Flux there. Oh, that's right. I turned the soldering iron off because I had the heat station on. Let that get hot. Let's bring the camera a little bit further down. I have the second one here, but it's not really... I don't think that's going to give you a better view. No, that sort of just gives you the shoulder view. And we'll just stick to this one. The Maclock music. Bruce, I think if you're watching this, you're about 5 to 10 minutes behind. So you got to fast forward. I think you are a little behind. You're not gonna know that because I'm saying it to you, but I will say I think your stream is about 5 minutes behind. There we go. Unless my thing was delayed. Okay, back to whatever the heck I was doing here. Soldering, yes. Questionable soldering. My favorite kind of soldering. So let's tin this here. And we're just going to piggyback on the 5 volts here. Okay, I think those are both connected. And then the ground is going to be a bit more of a pain because this is a thicker cable. Whoopsies. Than the other one. But I think it'll be fine. Where's my tweezers? Should probably use them. There they are. I blame YouTube, Bruce. So now we are soldering the Bluetooth power, because we what you probably missed, Bruce, is we tested the USB-C port that it's powering the Pi. So now I'm testing it that it's going to power the speaker and the Pi at the same time. So let's do that. Let's move that out of the way. Just sort of prop this up in a loose way here. That is off. I'm going to plug this in. I'm using an adapter so I could use the Pi's original USB micro power. Let's flip the switch and hopefully there's no smoke. Okay, I see the charge light on the speaker. That's good. And I think I see the light on the Pi. And so that screen should come on any moment now. Yep, great. That's coming on. Little cursor's moving around. And we could see if the speaker is off, but if I push the little button here, speaker turns on. It's connected. Let's open up SimCity. Yep, and we got sound. So let's shut this down. The speaker is making a bit of a fluttering noise. Let's see if that continues when the device is off. Yes. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's picking up interference or something. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's going to be in this little thing. I'm not going to be able to hear it. Let's just unplug that. Might be because it's on the same ground as the pot. I don't know if it should be on an isolated ground or something like that. I really don't know. All right, so now we have to carefully clean this thing because I'm going to take the little thing out of here. Little glasses cleaner rag here. Oh, we got some scratches on it. Darn it. Probably from some of the silicone I was cleaning off. Well, hopefully won't be able to see that much. That looks fine. The more I clean it, the more scratches I will put on it, I'm sure. YouTube sucks. Thanks for the spirit. Probably like put this down with some hot glue or something, but whatever. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to do. I wanted to add a little heat sink on this pie. I mean, it doesn't need it doesn't need a huge heat sink. I do have this bag that has bigger ones on here. I will honestly probably opt for this little baby one. That just that's probably fine for this. It's not going to be running anything crazy, and it's not going to get too hot. So I think that'll be fine. The hardest part is going to get the little thingy off of here, the little adhesive guy. I'm assuming that's an adhesive guy. Yes, it is. Okay. Just going to press on that for a little bit. I don't know if Colin has ever been to any of them. He certainly hasn't been to when I was. But we keep trying to convince him to go. There we go. So this little copper thing, this is a little baby heat sink. That'd be fine. Okay. All right. Now we will be peeling the plastic off of the screen. Ooh. It will never be clean again. The way this sits in here is like a little bit finicky. Okay, and then we have to put the pie in there. The other reason I don't want the bigger heat sink is then it would mean that the pie would potentially pinch the ribbon cable on the back of the LCD, and I don't want to have to worry about that. It's a bit of a pain of a process to get this to even just sit into the LCD as it is, so which it is not too happy about going in there at this point. Come on. There we go. All right, that's fine. It doesn't have to be fully seated. But what does have to happen is I have to screw this in somehow, and these screws don't seem to want to work. So I'm going to get, even though they came with the damn thing, I'm going to use some other screws I have. have this set of little screws here. These are M1 screws. Let's see. These should be fine. They're, of course, they didn't stay in the little container, the little divided bits. So they're a bit all over the place, but let's see if I could get one that will cooperate here. I just needed to sort of hold the screen in. I don't know if these are too big. Oh, some of these are M2. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's try one of the smaller ones first, I guess. Yeah, well, that screw went in way too easily. Yeah, that's not okay. So maybe we do need an M2. Of course, this bracket is now not holding the LCD. Nothing is working for me here today, folks. Just want you all to know that. Oh, I do have M1.5. Which ones are those? M1.5 screws. Oh no, they are just that's just the thing of the, yeah, never mind. Oh no, yeah, M12, M14, M15. All right, so it's a happy medium here. Yeah, I guess this one. Let's try this one. Let's just see. I am bringing the Color Classic SC30, if that's what you're talking about. I'm also just like half watching the chat, so I apologize if I'm missing anything. All right. I think that. Yeah, no, this sort of has to sit like that. Okay. Yeah. So let's get another one of those screws. No, wrong one. Yeah, that should work fine. Just get a bunch of them. Okay, well that kind of worked. Let's get one more. And I'm going to put that on this side here. Okay, that got in there as well. Let's put one over here. Should hold the bezel down on this side. All right, so that should be that. And then let's, oops, sorry for the squeak. Let's put the USB-C thing. Let's wire that up where it should, well, let's place it where it should be. I should have put longer cables on that, but as I like to say around here, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I should have put like, the cable should be like an inch longer on that, but what are you gonna do? It's very dusty on the front. Where did that, oh, where'd my little eyeglass thing go? Oh boy, I'm losing everything tonight. It fell on the floor. That's a great spot for it. Ah, there's some dust between the layers here. That's gonna drive me nuts. Ah, unscrew it again. I mean, it's never gonna be perfect, but That just made it worse. Well, let's just put it together for now. I'll have to clean it up later. Which means never. Every time I try and wipe this, it adds little streaks to it. Buy another one of these just to get parts from it. Alright, never mind. I'm dissatisfied enough with that. We're just going to unscrew the damn screws we just put in. It's not a clean room, much to my wife's dismay. No, see, that's on the other side of this stupid thing here. See, the screen is fine. It's this little plastic that has a lot of crap on it. It doesn't help that I, cut the plastic and everything, so there's these little dust particles everywhere. Who's bored of me fussing with this yet? Oh, that's right. I had to cut these little pegs here. That's what Colin did. I forgot to do that. That's probably also why it wasn't flush. Oh boy. What do I your basement or a straight jacket? Don't forget, this show is free. Of course, you can support me if you want to. Totally optional. And if you do want to support me via Patreon or YouTube membership, you get access to the podcast that Colin and myself do. And Colin is of the YouTube channel This Does Not Compute. And he does great videos. He did a little video on this Maclock that's actually linked in the video description. His is much more professional than this ranting and raving live stream. But for as little as $1 a month, you could support me. And that encourages me to do more silly, whatever the heck things like this. Where'd that screw go? Damn it. There it is. But that's 100% up to you. It does help the channel. It helps buy little parts and doodads and stuff for things. And it's certainly appreciative. And I do appreciate all of my supporters. Because it's a very kind thing. And that screen is scratched and dusty. But you know what? That's the best I'm going to get it. Look at all this wiry mess we got. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much, Hardware Hacker, for being a member for 4 months. Various sturdy things. Oh boy. Alright, so let's I guess we just leave that. This has to go all the way like so in there. I should have made that wire longer. Yeah, whatever. Okay, now we have to, oops. We have to put that back. If I were redoing this project, there's a number of things I would do differently. Oh, thank you very much, Hardware Hacker, for the doodads. All the doodads. Alrighty, let's try and do this again. There's a little screw on the back of this USB-C dealy, and I'm just going to try and put that where it belongs here. Oh, come on. it would be impossible to show you what I see unless I had like a camera on my glasses or something. Wow, this sucks. Oh boy. Oh yeah, the cable comes off of this thing, which I'm realizing just as I got the screw in there. So I could have wired it up easily and then detached it, which is good for the future, I guess. Oh, speaking of the future, hold please. So this little case was a pain in the butt to get open. So I want to make sure that I make it a little bit easier to open in the future. So I'm going to clip some of these little retaining things, especially at the top and the side. Let me unplug the power there. I guess I could sand them too. Well, that would take too long. I could just clip them with the clips, the flush cutters. Yeah, that does quick work of that. Yeah, I'm not clipping them all out. I'm just like shaving a layer off of the little between the little posts there, just so when this snaps back on, it's not a pain in the butt to get off again. Because I want it to snap on, but I also want it to be, something I could service. And lastly, we need to put this speaker somewhere so it's not rattling around. I guess I could like hot glue it or something, but it sort of almost wants to stay in that corner if I would let it, but yeah, no, that you're not going to be able to make the basement spotless. Oh, how about that? The speaker just wedged itself in a spot, which might work okay. See, the speaker sort of just wedged itself in the corner. But oh, the voltage cable came loose. That's great. We don't need that. Yes, we do. Let's fix that. Oh, you know what would be cool? That's what I could do. That would be smart. If I don't want to charge the Bluetooth speaker all the time, I could use a floppy disk switch deal. That would be very smart, maybe, kind of, sort of. So let's see, that would go there, that would go there. How's the switch work? Hold, please. Multimeter, come back on go now. Yes, perfecto. All right, let's do that. I like that idea. That's a janky idea. Undo you. Undo you. All right, so what we would do is put you here. That's nice there. And then we'll get another little strand of wire. I mean, so hi, I'm Steve. This is my basement. Let me undo the camera a little bit because it's like, there we go. Hi, this is my basement. I'm Steve. It goes over there, and then it goes all the way back there, and then it goes all the way behind there, like another 50 feet that way, or whatever measurements. It's a lot of space, and I have a lot of garbage. And yes, there is heavy jank. Oh boy. What am I doing again? That's right, soldering. Cables. Distraction. Go. It's the best type of jank. I love my jank. Keep going. You go to Joe's basement. Oh, that'd be cool if there was a tunnel to Joe's basement. I don't have sprinklers. That's not a thing that's usual in U.S. houses, for better or worse. If there's a fire in the basement, we're just dead. So just comes to terms with it. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. So I will explain my jank epiphany here in a moment. Okay, this one to you here. All right, so what I discovered was if that speaker is going to make a buzzing noise when it's charging, maybe I could have it set to a switch. And I do have a switch right here. When the floppy disk is inserted, this switch is active. So therefore, when the floppy disk is in, the speaker is active. So I'm just going to shove this speaker right. Oh, hopefully that doesn't touch the on-off switch, because that would be a pain in the butt. No, it doesn't. I'm just going to put some electrical tape in here for now, because I don't want to mess with hot glue at this moment in time. And I will probably open this thing up and mess with it again sometime soon. So this will give me the opportunity to not put hot glue in it and screw myself over in the future. But I just want to make sure this doesn't like roll around, because it is metal. I don't want to short out anything. So just going to put some electrical tape there and just stick that to the back wall there. And I'll show you a view from the inside in a moment once I get all the jank settled. Yes, I have a radon detector, I have a CO detector, I have a fire alarm, we have all those things. Safety is a big priority here. And not just because the missus made me do it. Alright, so that's all settled. Well, except for this. This has to plug into there again. Let's make sure that's plugged in. Wish I made those cables longer. That's just going to be something I regret. And we'll fix it later, because I'm tired. And it's late. And my fingers are too fat to reach all the way back there. We have to come around from like this angle, I guess. Oh, it's so close to fitting in there. Even if these wires were longer, it would not make it that much easier. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at the jank I have here. Look at that. The speaker is all speakered up. We have all the wires, all the things. Let me position it this way. You can see that switch is there. We're just going to sort of gently, loosely put it back together like this. Oh, look how cute it is. All right. And we are going to try and power it with our USB adapter. And we're going to eject the floppy so our speaker isn't charging. Let's get this nice and low here so you can actually see it. Let's get some of this crap out of the way. Oh, look, all the pieces fell off of my toolkit already. Isn't that great? Let's put you up here. Whoops. Can you just not fall apart for like 1 minute? Thank you. Jeez. I just want to make sure it works before I snap all of it back together. Okay. I'm a Mac guy. I'm not really a PC guy. But there's a mix of crap throughout the whole basement. Let's just say that. All right. So It is booting up. There we go. It's hard to see, but the screen is lighting up. There we go. Let's connect to the VNC again. So we can make it full screen. I have to automate that somehow. Whoops, I clicked a button. What did I do? I don't want that. Go away. Let's connect to our Bluetooth. Oh no, the Bluetooth isn't on. Let's hold down the button to turn it on. Yay, the button worked. All right, now let's go to Bluetooth. Connect to the dealie. Connection failed. There we go. All right. Connecting to Bluetooth. Perfect. And then we're going to go full screen. And we're going to go open up SimCity because that makes some noise. Yeah, I know there's probably a... I just didn't set it up yet. Oh, this is great. I got sound and everything. Hey, look, it's pretty neat in the back. Screen is aligned as best as I can get it. Let's push that all together. Oh, that's great. This is great. I love it. This should be the thumbnail of it. Oh, that's beautiful. It's not focusing on it, so it's going to be terrible. But the next thing I want to do is get a mouse so I can actually use it without the emulator here. Oh, come on, camera. Just like stay put, please. For love. Oh my God. Hold on. Damn camera in there, freaking there. There we go. Why is it wanting to raise? What is going on with this thing? It's like, oh, there we go. It wasn't moved down enough. Yes, I probably could use Bluetooth keyboard. Why is this keep rising up? Oh, you stupid thing. All right, just stay where. Do what you want to do. I'm gonna use a mouse here. Hopefully this mouse can be Bluetooth paired quite easily. I need to actually quit out of the Mac emulator here so I could set up a Bluetooth mouse. Okay, so let's go to Bluetooth, add device. Yeah, I just have a Magic Mouse here, but I don't think it's connected to anything. Hopefully it's not, because I don't use it often. I don't know how to make this mouse discoverable, but it is blinking, which I guess means it is something. We're running System 7 on there. There we go. There's the mouse. Let's click through VNC to pair. Pairing successful. Connecting. Let's see if it wants to work. Please work. Yay, connection successful. Oh, this is great. It's very responsive. Sweet. So I can close the window for that. And I had a shortcut for Mini VMac. I'm sure this could emulate a lot of things. It's a Pi 02. I just have it emulating a Macintosh 2 because that suits my needs. Let's make this a bit taller so the camera... I don't know why this camera is being such a pain in the butt today. Like, come on. Like, just stay down here. Will you? Jeez. you're just gonna do whatever you want to do, huh? Well, how about if I just put my multimeter over here and weigh the camera arm down? Yeah, there we go. Jeez. The things you do. All right, let's get it to focus. I mean, yeah, I could do global talk on this, I guess. Now the camera is not gonna like focus on the screen correctly, just because there's like a piece of plastic in the way, and whatever. But in person, I swear it looks great. But since I have a Bluetooth mouse connected now, I could click around on things. I could go to menus. I could do all the things, which looks terrible from this point of view. But yeah, this camera is being a piece of crap. I mean, it's getting a nice focus on the product itself. I used to have the... Can I have my phone camera set up? Let's see. OBS sometimes works with this, sometimes it doesn't. Let's just see. So it would be great if you folks could actually see what the heck this is supposed to look like. What's that? Continuity camera or some garbage? Go, please. You know, this operating system always tells me, oh, connect your camera, when I don't want it to be connected via the camera. Like, whenever I want the camera to be used, I can't, like, do it good. Words. Like, yeah, let's see if it'll do it now. If I go here, go to camera, iPhone camera. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now we're connected with that. Let's see if I could do it in OBS. Steven's phone. Oh, how about that? Look at that. Look. Much better. I have to hold my damn arm, but here, we can actually move this so I'm not twisting my arm as much. There we go. Look how pretty he is. So now I need to launch the program because I put it somewhere. Oh no, those are the source ones. It even chimed. How cute is that? Yeah, I have to figure out in the command line how to make it full screen. Because by default it is not. I forget what's the. It should just be Control F. It's oh, hold on. I don't have VNC selected. That's why it's not doing it. There we go. All right, there we go. Much better. Look at that. It friggin' chimed. Let's open up Kid Pics. Remember I was telling you, someone said a 1024 by 768 screen. This is 640 by 480, and it's already like hard to see on a 2.8-inch screen. I cannot draw with this thing. This mouse is too sensitive. There's some teeth. That sort of resembles a human. Self-portrait. The self-portrait would be very fuzzy around the facial hair area. There, now that's a self-portrait. Oh, this is hard to control. You got little stamps. Excellent. Excellent. All right, let's save this as whatever curse thing we're going to do. We can quit. And let's go to After Dark. Need the flying toasters. All right, we have the sleep corner set. Let's see those toasters fly, huh? I said toasters. They're this corner. There we go. Yes! I do not have Doom on here, unfortunately. I could put it on there. I don't know if it will run on a Mac too, though. Look, I am very pleased with how this came out. The only thing I'm a bit annoyed about is the front screen got a little scratched and dust. But that's going to happen over time anyway. But look at that. Hey, a little tiny guy. It's got a speaker in there. We just got the one cable coming out of the butt. That is really neat. Yes. And since it's System 7, we have a clock in the corner as well. So if I really wanted to, I could probably set a bigger clock. Actually, there's one of the After Dark panels is a clock. Yeah, there we go. A modern clock. See how that looks. Yeah, look at that. Let's see. Digital clock. Oops. There. See? Perfect. Now I just need a little baby laser writer, a little baby image writer, a Mac 2 FX, a little baby 13-inch RGB monitor, and we'd be all set. Let's see. What other clocks do we have? Oh, a melting clock. It's like morphing. Antique clock. Yeah, so these are just the ones that are built into it, but I'm sure I could add other ones. Oh, and then there's the magnify thing. I think Control M. Yeah, if I really wanted to be like a fat bits mode or whatever, much easier to see, as you could see. And this LCD is 640 by 480 native. But yeah, if I wanted like to just keep it like that, like on my desk and see the time there, that works too. Oh yeah, the floppy. So if I put this in, hopefully it doesn't explode. Technically, that should be charging the speaker, but I don't know if it actually is. Because the speaker is not making any noise when it's charging, I guess. But technically, that should be bridging the 5 volts. That's because that's a little micro switch. It should be bridging the 5 volts to the speaker to charge it. And then that should make it not charge. But yeah, there we go. That's freaking adorable. It was worth it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to have on my desk. Oh yeah, we're still in the zoomed in mode. But yeah, and we are running System 7.1 with 8 megs of RAM on an emulated Macintosh 2. So cool. Oh yeah, I'm going to totally bring it. This is one of those easy things that I could bring around with me, which is great. I'm going to shut it down because I want to configure this a bit more, but I'll do that upstairs. Shut you down. Yep, that's the sound of the speaker shutting off. And then yep, I could turn the speaker off. And I could actually just use this as I just thought of this. I could actually use this as a little individual Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, it'd be a very crummy Bluetooth speaker, but technically I could turn it on and off independently of everything else because it has a little battery in it. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's cool. I'm excited about this. Yeah, so sweet. All right, let's switch back to the other camera. Boy, is my arm tired. All right, let's switch this back to that one. Yeah, close enough. Oh, hi. It is really cool. I'm a little annoyed that the screen is a little hazy, but you know, you don't. I'm probably the only one who's going to notice that. That cleaned it up like 90%. That's good. Excellent. Well, I'm gonna call it a night. That was quite a we actually did what we planned to do. I don't know how to feel. Usually that doesn't happen on my streams. We just go on forever until I get bored or tired or angry. It's Joe, did you see? Did you see? Hold on, now we have to show Joe. Joe friend guy. Me show Joe guy go how do. We have a little USB-C port. We plug the guy in. And we got to show Joe. And be patient. And we have to switch back to my phone again. Why weren't you here 5 minutes ago, Joe? Where's camera? Camera go. iPhone camera go. There we go. Because this will zoom in a little bit better. Oh, what'd I do? Push the wrong button because I'm an idiot. Hold, please. Your call is important to us. All right, so we have our little Macintosh booting up. Isn't that so cool? Isn't it cool? It's so cool. And now, let me turn the Bluetooth speaker on. Boop, 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 boop. And let's make sure the speaker's connected. Oh, this launched 2 windows. Oopsies. That's, I think, why it stalls sometimes. It launches twice. 1 second, please. There we go. That's right, I have the other mouse, which is not connected. Forgets the Bluetooth connections. That's okay. We should hear some sound. No, don't hit it with the hammer. Ah, it's so cool. I love it. Oh, it's great. All right. Let's shut this down. Nice poke. Oh boy. Yeah, I have to fiddle with the software and the script that turns on, and maybe I can auto connect Bluetooth and stuff like that, but oh, that's very cool. Go back to this way. I am such a klutz with these cameras. Sweet. All right. Yeah, sleep time now. My goodness. Time to start a game of Civilization. I'm not going to fall for that, Bruce, because did you do that in one of your videos? You just decide to play it for a while. It's totally what would happen to me. Focus. There we go. Oh, no, I had it there for a second. Yeah, close enough. Oh, okay, that was fun. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We've been here for, oh my goodness, how long? YouTube doesn't tell me these things anymore. Stupid YouTube. I think I went live at 10 o'clock, 11, 12, 1. 3 hours or so. My goodness. But we built our little baby Maclock guy. It's adorable. He's going to go up by my desk, and I'm going to play around with it until I get bored with it. But I'll probably bring it to my VCF shows and stuff like that, because it is so adorable. And yeah, it does. It's not clipped that bad, so I could always open it up if I had to. Oh, that's so cool. Oh boy. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for supporting the channel, both through Patreon and YouTube membership and all that fun stuff. And thanks for all the super chats and all the fun stuff today. Really appreciate it. I don't know when I'll be doing another video. I do have a few things planned. I have a review of the Woot Switch from Joe of Joe's Computer Museum. Go to jcm-1.com to learn more about that. There's also some other cool projects that are coming out. The Pico IDE and the Blue SCSI Ultra wide and narrow things. So check those out. But yeah, anyway, I am going to press end stream before I break this thing somehow. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.